Good morning, taxpayers. Good morning, business people. Wherever it is that you are watching from, you are live on the Learn Tax Uganda podcast. And Solomon Chimbugwe is my name. It is my pleasure to host you this morning. But even more importantly, I have the honor of hosting one of the very best customs experts that we have here at the Uganda Revenue Authority, and it's none other than Brenda Wenene. Without wasting a minute, please allow me to greet her and allow her to greet you. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Solomon.
Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
For people who are interacting with you for the very first time, they would definitely like to know a thing or two about you. Who are you and what you do here at the Uganda Revenue Authority?
I'm Brenda Wenene Kateu. I've worked with customs for 26 years. I've worked in different areas of customs, ranging from the warehousing to the headquarters. And right now I serve as the manager, refunds and reconciliation here at the headquarters.
The manager refunds and reconciliation.
Yes.
So customs is in the business of refunding.
Passion.
How does that come about?
When you pay in error, you pay for goods in error, probably you paid an amount that was not supposed to be paid, and we confirm that that payment was not due to customs, then we shall check whatever payment you did, the process you went through. Once we confirm that that payment was not due to us, then we shall refund. We have diplomats who consume fuel, but there's a tax element in the fuel they purchase, and they're entitled to tax-free fuel. So we refund the element of tax they have paid to customs in the fuel they have consumed, because the fuel they are consuming already has a tax element. So we refund their tax. And then there are some exporters who consume materials and they account for what they have exported, but they are registered for us for duty drawback. So we refund the element of tax they have paid on those materials they have consumed. And that they are registered for it, we take them through a process of audit, they tell us, and we determine the ratios and then the tax that we can refund. So that is how we refund tax.
You had it from Brenda herself. Customs is in the business of refunding, but that was a conversation starter. Today we are here to really understand what customs is about. When we say customs, we are not talking about customs and no, if you know what I mean, but we are talking about customs from the perspective of trade. And the expert is in the building, and we are going to put the question to her. Brenda, what is customs, or who is customs?
Yeah, customs is a national entity, administrative entity that is empowered or positioned at the border points to control flow of entry of goods or exit of goods that are coming from another country or proceeding to another country, or the goods are flowing through that country. So they could be imports, meaning they're coming into the country. They could be exports, meaning that they're going out of this country into another country, or they are passing through the country to another foreign country. So customs manages that flow of goods and makes sure it's smooth and follows the rules and regulations in that location. In the case of Uganda Revenue Authority and Uganda as a nation, the Customs Department is part of Uganda Revenue Authority, and it is placed at the different border points where these goods come through, and they're positioned in that place to manage that process, the imports, the exports, and the transit through. That is what customs is.
Thank you so much for answering that. You've actually tackled, even in a small part, the question that I was about to ask next, and that's the question of the role of customs. What is the role of customs?
What is the role of customs? As customs, we facilitate that movement. So we put in place tools that help the business community to move cargo within, that is coming inside or that is going out of the country or that is passing through. What are these tools? We make sure that there are procedures and there are processes to be followed. We guide on, the customs puts in place a mechanism which the business community uses to make declaration, to show that these are my goods, they're of this nature. Now, customs has to identify these goods, know whose they are, what they are, where are they going, and to whom do they belong. So that identity has to be in a declaration where we say that put that information in our system, in a SCODA. And that information is stored by customs and used by customs to show where this cargo is going, to whom it's going to, what tax it's going to pay. So customs facilitates that movement of cargo. Customs also, with that information they have obtained, facilitates or supports data collection for the country to know that this is the nature of cargo that has come into the country. This is the amount of cargo that has come in. This is the value of the cargo that has come in. These are the individuals, the persons that have imported the cargo, and most probably the use of that cargo. So this information helps the country to know the trends of business, the trends of the economy. So it is important information that is used by government to determine policies influencing how the economy is run. So also customs collects information on and controls cargo that may be harmful or restricted. This is cargo that is controlled by other entities. For example, medicine. Not everyone should bring in medicine. If you're bringing in medicine, you must be licensed by NDA, the National Drug Authority. So are you licensed? Do you have the permission to handle this nature of cargo? So those are controls that customs handles to make sure that persons who are empowered, authorized, handle specific cargo. Then customs also collects revenue, because if you're crossing from one border to another, then there are laws which govern that location where you're entering into, and they have set out duties or tariffs which you are supposed to pay. So customs will determine and look at what taxes are you supposed to pay, and you'll be made to pay. So it provides that support to you as a business person to pay the taxes related to that cargo which you have brought inside into the country. So that is the role that customs plays in many locations. It cuts across, it's more of universal.
Definitely, that's customs from the perspective of the globe.
Yes.
Are you able to bring it home to Uganda?
But here in Uganda Revenue Authority, customs is a department, and Uganda is a partner in the East African region. Way back in 1999, we signed a treaty as East African countries, Kenya and Tanzania and Uganda. And this treaty was saying that we are coming together as a community to be one. And so, having signed that treaty, we entered into an agreement and we worked together, even related to issues of integration and even in customs. So in 1999, we signed a protocol that controls how we manage the goods coming into this customs arrangement as a union. We made a union as ESC. Now, this union we agreed that whatever we do within this union, the EAC countries, which expanded to Rwanda, South Sudan, Burundi, and Congo. So we agreed that any goods which are coming inside this region, we shall treat them as imports, and we shall treat them the same way. So we determined the tariff which we charge on goods which are coming into this union, into this territory called the EAC. And also, we said amongst ourselves, whatever is moving from Kenya to Uganda, or Kenya to Tanzania, or Kenya to Burundi, we shall not tax. That is the agreement that was made, and that's what determines how we collect tax under this customs union. So under this arrangement, we agreed that within ourselves we shall promote transfer of goods without paying taxes, and then those goods which are coming from outside this arrangement, we shall tax uniformly. We shall give the same import duty tax. So that is what we agreed as a region, and that is how Uganda determines tax rates, not just as a nation, but as a region. That means our frontier, when we are determining tax or an import, is not just Malaba or Busia.
It's not our borders as we know them.
No, it's now Mombasa. The boundaries of the region become the boundary where you determine that this is now an import.
Would it be right to suggest that from a trade facilitation perspective, Uganda as a country is not landlocked?
Well, we are called landlinked because we still have to depend on Kenya to use the port. But good enough with the arrangement of this union, we have what we call the single customs territory. And so under that arrangement, we've been privileged to have our customs staff placed at the port. So they easily access the information that comes on the cargo that comes on the ship, the marine cargo. So they're able to determine that this cargo is destined for Uganda, and they facilitate the movement of that cargo. And that's how we facilitate trade to move smoothly within the region. The same arrangement applies to the other partner states. And that's the advantage of being in this partnership of East Africa.
Brenda, what gives you the right to do this work as customs?
Well, when we entered into that treaty, we agreed the treaty that I'm talking about and the protocol that I'm talking about, which formed the customs union, mentions the customs laws that we should apply. So the treaty that we entered into, the protocol that we entered into, it has different annexes which look at how we handle our relationship when it comes to cargo. How do we handle our relationship as a partnership? And the laws that we are using, the current law, the act that is legislated by the East African Legislature, Parliament, the East African Customs Management Act, gives us the guidance on how we clear the cargo. And also we have the East African Courts of Judicature. So when that court makes a decision concerning customs, then that will become a law, and we have to apply it in the clearance of tax. And so there are also international laws that we apply when it comes to customs, because we have what we call the World Trade Organization, and which we are members to. We also have what we call the World Customs Organization, to which we are also a member. And then we have other arrangements. And these organizations have created instruments which we use to create harmony, to create uniformity, because you're moving goods across the globe. So you don't want to move goods from, say, China, and you reach another location and the whole process is so different. So these entities, international bodies, help customs globally to put in place uniform procedures uniform processes which we can communicate easily. For example, we have what we call a tariff code. A tariff code is a number that is given to an item. So if it's a book, we say, okay, the book, to identify a book in China, this is the code. The same book, we have the same code in Uganda. So that uniformity is created by these international bodies so that globally we can trade easily, identifying the same product wherever it is, from one end of the globe to another end. So that's the uniqueness of customs, and that's how we operate in a global village.
Global village indeed. You've hinted on the East African Community Customs Management Act as being the bedrock for determining customs processes, procedures, and administration in the region.
Yes.
Is it safe to suggest then that the way customs operates in Uganda is the way it operates in Kenya?
In many cases, there is uniformity. The difference may be in the administrative part, but when it comes to the laws applied, they are the same laws. When it comes to the tariff codes I've talked about, it is the same tariff code. And with the single customs territory, we've agreed on certain processes to be the same. Previously, we used to have, for example, the information you give us when you arrive at the port, you'd have to declare in Kenya, then move inland and make another declaration, another presentation of the same goods to Uganda, and so on and so forth. But now, having set up ourselves as a community, as a union, it is easy to communicate, and we use one entry right from across Kenya to Uganda. There are other opportunities in there. We've agreed to monitor cargo together. That's why we have the regional electronic cargo system. So there are things that we are doing together, and that shows there is consistency and there is uniformity in what we do as customs. So you won't find a different language the other side. You won't find a very different approach the other side. It's more or less the same because we are applying the same principles of the law.
Thank you so much for that. Let's talk very briefly about the borders, because you see, at every border, you're going to find a customs official, but you're also going to find an official from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. You're also going to find officials from many other entities operating at the border. What then is the role of customs in border control?
Yes, we are placed at the borders to manage the movement of cargo. Now, the different entities at the borders are managing different aspects because a border has various activities. You have persons coming through, you have cargo coming through, you have various activities happening. So these different entities are empowered in different ways because the Ministry of Internal Affairs will manage the persons. Just like you identify cargo with a document, or as an individual I am crossing through, I have to present my passport, which tells who I am, where I'm going, where I've come from, where I'm going to. So that one is Ministry of Internal Affairs through the immigration. Now we have customs who is managing the cargo to determine and see what is this cargo, who is it for, where is it going, to whom does it belong to. So customs facilitates that process to give the cargo identity and to manage its destination or to manage its exit if it's going for export, or to manage its transit through. And that is very important for customs. And because we are placed at the different borders, if cargo has come in through, for example, at Malaba, and it's destined to South Sudan, we also have customs at Elegu. So customs at Elegu at the end of the border to to South Sudan is able to communicate and say, yes, you released cargo from Malaba. I can confirm that it has reached Elegu and has gone to South Sudan. So that communication is very important to account for whatever cargo is coming into the country and through the country. And so that role is very important, and also providing that protection because we coordinate with other agencies like the Ministry of Agriculture. If we are having food products coming in, agricultural products, Ministry of Agriculture is also placed there to monitor. So we have different roles and different mandates, and we might coordinate with the different agencies placed at the border.
Thank you so much. That was well explained, I must say. We also need to refer back to the beginning of the podcast when you described the mandate of customs as largely trade facilitation. Would you care to get a little bit more granular on that very specific element, and you talk about the role of customs in trade facilitation?
Yeah, okay. In trade facilitation, customs does many initiatives to ease business because movement of cargo is about business.
True.
There is someone who has taken interest to do business, and they're moving cargo from one point to another.
And they want to do it very fast.
Yes, they want it eased for them. So we provide that ease by making sure there is a system to make your declaration. In Uganda, we are using the ASCODA system, ASCODA World System. And so we use that to make the declarations. The information concerning your cargo. Like I said, you're telling us where is this cargo coming from, to whom it belongs, where is it going to, and what kind of cargo is it. That information is what we say you're making a declaration, an entry to customs. So we provide that facilitation. We also create means on how to ease your work. For example, at the border currently, we have what we call scanners. We call that non-intrusive. If you want to check quickly and know this cargo is this, what he has told us that this is sugarcane. So it passes through that scanner. To ease our checks, we don't have to open physically, confirm with the documentation that this is sugarcane. We are seeing it through the scanner and it eases your movement. So customs looks at procedures and processes that are going to ease business. So it has to have innovations, creativity to ease the business of this person that is moving across the border. And also customs provides information. So we have staff positioned at the border to facilitate this movement, to provide information, to help the client to move their cargo through the borders and into inland and out of customs. So customs has to have creative ways of easing that movement. We have what we call the regional electronic cargo system, which monitors the movement of cargo. If cargo is going through and it's moving across many areas, but we are not physically there, but we can monitor this electronically. This is to reduce our cost as an administration, to make sure that we can easily know that this cargo left Malaba at this time, it is at this location, and at this location, it is at this point. So customs has to create those initiatives and facilitative measures to ease business and create accountability for this tax for the business community. And so customs has a very important role. Then we also provide information. Where the customs staff are placed, they're available to guide where someone does not have information on how to move. For example, you're traveling, you have cargo to declare. Customs officers are there to provide that guidance. that this is how you can go about it, and this is what it will take to do so. So that those facilitation measures are made by customs to ease movement of goods and easing of business.
Sounds about right. Clearly, the scope of work is wide, and this is the part where I get to ask you if customs has any role to play in market protection, because there are people who bring in products the right way, the ones who declare the products to customs, and if they are dutiable, if there are taxes to be paid, they go ahead and pay. Then there are others who want to pursue other ways. So what is the role of customs?
Now, in that case, customs is positioned at the borders, but also in different areas. And we make sure that every cargo that is coming in has paid the tax. But then there are those people who will choose to use other means to access the market and compete with this person who has not gone through the normal process. So we have measures in place. We conduct operations to look out for such individuals. But even through our borders, there may be those who use different means to sneak through the border, even when we are there, and come through without paying the due taxes. So we go through different processes and procedures to examine cargo which has come through the border and through our hands. So there are different processes to make sure that we have checked the cargo, that the cargo you presented us is the right quantity, the right amount, the right documents, and you are paying the right tax. Because when you all pay the tax right, then you're able to go into the market and compete favorably. So in our processes of clearance, we make sure that everyone that is presented to us does the right thing. But even those who sneak and use other means, there are measures taken to check that these people are nabbed. And facilitation is done to make sure that these people, those who are compliant and use the correct path, will be facilitated. Those who use the wrong path will be penalized. And these penalties to hinder you from going back into the same habit of misusing the facilities or misusing the process, abusing the process. So there are measures that are in place to make sure that everybody is paying tax, and that gives an opportunity for you to compete fairly in the open market, that you all paid the same tax, that you all went through the same process, that you all had the same environment. And that's what we endeavor to do at Customs.
Brenda, my very last question for you for this particular segment is a question to do with the fact that the world has gone green. People are now very aware about the need to protect their environment in a way that is more precedented than how it has been before. Does Customs, because you're responsible for the things that are coming in the country, does the duty extend also to environmental protection in any way?
Yes, we do. As Customs, we are aware about, there's what we call the green customs. There are protocols we've signed as a country to stop certain products from coming into the country and controlling the movement of such products. So there are, for example, gases which are used in the refrigerants that are not harmful to health. And these are protocols that have been signed and acknowledged globally. So as Customs, we monitor that what is coming into the country does not include such products. There are laws that have been passed by government as protective of the country. For example, a vehicle which is older than 15 years must not be registered when it's coming from outside the country. So those are measures to reduce on the pollution within the country. So Customs has to make sure they confirm the particulars of every vehicle in that category to make sure they are less than the years that have been granted by government, and not to license or register such vehicles. So they have a critical role in that. Government has also passed a law concerning used computers, and it's in the same context of protecting the environment, protecting the public from harmful exposure. So when we encounter a consignment which has used computers, which is very common, because you find someone says, I have got refurbished computers from the developed country, we are bringing them to our students to use. But as a country, we have passed a law that says no used computers. So customs has to come in and stop the importation of such materials so that we control and limit the exposure to dangerous items or things that can be harmful to the environment and to the public. So customs has a very critical role because they are placed at these entry points and they have access to these goods that are coming into the country. And so we have a very critical position that we hold to hinder the movement of such cargo.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for really breaking it down for us. I'm sure myself and the viewers now have a much better appreciation of what customs is about. It's been an honor hosting you for this particular episode of the Land Tax Uganda podcast, and we look forward to hosting you for many more to have these conversations, because the desire is that we need to be able to tap into your expertise and experience in this field. The Land Tax Uganda podcast is brought to you courtesy of the Tax Education Division within the Uganda Revenue Authority, in conjunction with the Public and Corporate Affairs, and of course the many departments that we do work with. Today's specific episode has been brought to you in partnership with the Customs Department. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wait out for more.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.